Good morning, students. You are welcome to Basic Science class. Today, we want to look at the excretory system. We will be considering the excretory system. You will note that in the body of animals, there are two types of reactions that takes place. The first one is the anabolic reaction, and the second one is the catabolic reaction. Anabolic reactions are reactions that involves the building up of molecules in the body. Building up of molecules in the body. For instance, we have the formation of protoplasm. We also have photosynthetic processes, even though those are related with plants. So any synthetic process or building up process is referred to as an anabolic process or anabolic reaction. Secondly, we have catabolism or catabolic reactions. Catabolic reactions are reactions that involves the breaking down of complex substances like food into useful products. So when you have the breaking down of complex or gigantic molecules into simpler molecules which are absorbable by the body, that is referred to as catabolic processes or catabolic reaction. Now, when these foods are broken down, they are not just broken down into simpler forms that are useful. They are also broken down alongside with some waste products. Alright? Some waste products accompanying the breaking down of these food particles. Now, we have the combination of these processes, the anabolic process and the catabolic process. So any reaction that involves the breaking down process in one hand and the building up process on the other hand is referred to as metabolic process. It is important that you note these terms: anabolism, catabolism, metabolism. So we are saying that metabolic process or metabolism refers to any reaction where anabolism is taking place on one hand and catabolism is taking place at the other hand. So when these two processes takes place simultaneously, that is referred to as metabolism. Alright? Now, I have said the other time that these reactions, especially the catabolic reactions, the breaking down reactions, they do not take place without the formation or the excretion of waste products. There is waste products that are formed alongside these reactions. So these waste products that are produced during this reaction, they are called metabolic wastes. Metabolic wastes. And the example is carbon dioxide, water vapor, urine, and sweat. Alright? Carbon dioxide, water vapor, urine, and sweat. The metabolic waste products must not be allowed to accumulate in the body of organisms. The same way, there are some foods that cannot be kept in excess in the body. The other time we talked about fats, we talked about carbohydrates, we talked about proteins, that there are certain amounts of proteins that should be in the body. An excess of protein in the body can lead to certain diseases. Alright, the same way we have metabolic wastes that should not be allowed to stay in the body, which in other words, they must be excreted. They must be taken away from the body because they are harmful to the normal cell functions. So they must be removed as soon as they are produced. Alright? The removal of these waste products of metabolism is what we call excretion. The removal of these waste products, the waste products of metabolism, is referred to as excretion. So the excretory system consists of different organs involved in removing waste products of metabolism from the body. There are many organs that makes up the excretory system, and these organs are four, but today we are going to limit ourselves to the description of the kidney. The four organs are the kidney, the lungs, the skin, and the liver. The kidney excretes urine, excess mineral salts, water. The lungs excrete carbon dioxide and water vapor. The skin excretes sweat, excess mineral salt, and water, while the liver excretes bile and salt. But just as I've said, we are going to be considering the kidney, and that kidney makes up the urinary system. The urinary system is the major composition or the major organ of the urinary system. Urine is removed from the bloodstreams by the kidney. The kidneys are two in the lower abdomen. If you look at the diagram in front of you, you will see the kidney. We have the right kidney and we have the left kidney, right? So they are two in number and they are attached to the lower abdomen on the dorsal side above the hip. You will see the dorsal aorta. So these two kidneys, the left and right, are attached, to the dorsal side above the hip, and they are reddish brown and bean shaped. The shapes looks like that of the beans that you eat. So, and they are also reddish brown. From the kidneys run two tubes called ureters. You could see two pipes that are running downwards from the two kidneys. Ureter is a tube that is attached or that is running from the kidney downwards, and it goes to the bladder. You could see the bladder more like a sac there. The bladder is more like a sac there, right? And the bladder now is connected to the exterior by the urethra. The urethra is more like the outlet now, where the whole thing goes out. The whole waste products of metabolism are excreted in form of urine. So the major composition or the major components of the urinary system is the kidney, the ureters, which are the tubules, and the urethra, which is the final outlet where the urine is eliminated from the body. Now, I want you to look at another diagram, a longitudinal section of the kidney. A longitudinal section of the kidney. You will see that the kidney here is made up of three layers. We have the cortex, the medulla, and the pelvis. The cortex is the outer layer, the medulla is the middle layer, and the pelvis is the inner layer. Right? Now, the blood vessels are connected to the kidneys. The renal artery, you can see the renal artery, brings blood from all parts of the body into the kidneys, where it is filtered. That process is called ultrafiltration. It is filtered, and the excess salts, urea, sugar, and other impurities are removed with excess water from the blood. The renal artery. Now, we have talked about the renal artery. The renal vein right now takes away blood from the kidneys. So arteries are meant to bring blood from all parts of the body into the kidney, while the renal vein is meant to take away blood from the kidney. The extracted urine now is passed through the ureter, we have said that the other time, into the bladder, where it is temporarily stored. It is stored temporarily in the bladder. When the bladder is full, it causes you to want to empty it, and that process is called urination. So basically, from the longitudinal section of the kidney, we have three major things to learn. That is the renal artery, which is responsible for taking blood from all parts of the body, conveying blood from all parts of the body into the kidney. And we also have the renal vein, which is responsible for taking away blood from the kidney. And also we have the ureter, where the extracted urine is passed into the bladder, where it is temporarily stored. Now, lastly, let's look at kidney as osmoregulator. You will notice that if you drink a lot of water, you will have to frequent the restroom to ease yourself. When you drink a lot of water, your kidney will excrete plenty of urine. But when you take little amount of water, kidneys will eliminate less water through urine. So, if the weather is also cold and you do not sweat, it means your kidney will do more work. your kidney will have to excrete more urine. But on a warm day, when you sweat, your kidneys will have only a small amount of urine left, to excrete. So your kidneys control the amount of water in your body. Your kidney is responsible for controlling the amount of water in the body. Hence, it is called osmoregulator or fluid regulator, right? So the regulation of body fluid by the kidney is called osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is defined as the regulation of body fluid by the kidney. Regulation of body fluid by the kidney. In summary, today we have looked at the fact that we have catabolism, we have anabolism. Anabolism is the building up processes, is the building up of molecules, from simpler molecules. And we also have catabolism, which is the breakdown of giant or complex substances like food into useful substances that are absorbable by the body. And also we have metabolism. Metabolism is the combination of these two processes when they go hand in hand. That is metabolism. We are now saying that the products that are obtained, the waste materials that are obtained from metabolism are called metabolic waste products. And as these waste products are harmful to the body, hence they must be eliminated or excreted from the body. Alright, that takes us to the fact that for the excretory system, there are 4 organs that are involved. The number 1 is the kidney, the number 2 is the lungs, number 3 skin, and number 4 is the liver. And we decided to consider the kidney, which is the major component of the urinary system today. So the kidney helps us in eliminating waste products from the body, waste materials called urine. Alright, we also consider the longitudinal section of the kidney, that the kidney is made up of the cortex, the medulla, and the pelvis. And lastly, we describe the kidney as an osmoregulator. In other words, it regulates the amount of urine that is in the body. It regulates the body fluid in the body by making sure that urine is excreted, excess water is excreted from the body. So we have come to the end of this class. In the next class, we're going to be looking at other organs that are attached to the excretory system. We're going to look at the skin, we're going to look at liver, and we're going to look at the lungs. Before then, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.